connect them there. But yeah, I found out that your SWRs are a little bit higher, so you can get it to where you're running a flat match. This antenna that I got actually came from an older operator. It's one of the very first, and for some reason or another, he put the vertical gamma on the horizontal side. I left it like that, and it's just great. It works out great. So it's just sort of funny.
Well, they're both the same dimensions, right? Pretty much, other than the gamma adjustment.
Well, the horizontal is longer than the vertical. The center conductor?
Yeah, the loop?
No, on the gamma. The gammas are on the vertical side is shorter than the horizontal side.
I thought you said it was longer. I wonder why they did that.
He did it. I have no clue. So I left it at that, and it is really great. I have no problem. It does flip a little bit, on my receive wise, but it's not it's noticeable out distance when the skip's coming in, but locally it's just incredible. Especially at night. Some of the guys, when the horizontal polarity starts coming in, and we're having conditions coming in from up north, the guys locally 15 miles away or 10 miles away, they get out of the picture. I can't even hear them. It's weird.
Yeah, roger that, Ralph. Well, it's just thinking out loud here. It seems to me, one of the difficulties of emulating that design is, if I recall, the ground section is connected at the feed point there to the boom. Okay, to the boom. But on the reflector side, there's no. Is there any electrical connection on the reflector?
Nothing whatsoever. Just the back reflector wire. And that hub in the rear is steel, so there is some type of polarity there.
Yeah, it's aluminum, very expensive to buy one. They don't make it anymore. It's kind of odd. You'd think somebody would reproduce it again, but considering the cost, no one's going to try to build it. And, until now, I've come up with a design. That you can basically have your spreaders and everything, the boom and all that. But mine is non-metallic boom, so I'm looking at a whole different configuration, so to speak. And the difficulties, the challenge will be centering up that loop into like a Y or a V config. But I think why they did a loop, thinking out loud. They did the loop to keep it inside of the full wave wires on the outside, Roger?
That is correct. You got it. Yeah, it's just a fine-tuned instrument. I call it an instrument. It's just a 6-foot boom. I hear things, like I said, if I can hear them and I know exactly where they're at, I can pinpoint them and pretty much get into the receive. Let me drop down my exciter power. Hold on. Yeah, guys, now I went ahead and dropped my exciter power down. I'm going to go ahead and swing the beam your way towards Illinois so that we can you can get a little configuration of what I'm doing over here on this side there, Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I kind of got dual polarity going because I got a vertical radiator now below the bazooka. So it's kind of in a T up about 22 feet. I'm working with my Trizuka design, triple bazooka. And that I would love to get inside a loop. I just haven't. I suppose if you think about it, it's, I'm thinking out loud again. I digress. It's almost like a helical design in the center, which I could see why would be a big gain and then the loop probably expands it a little bit, so you don't have such a small beam width there.
Okay. Yeah, I've been switching back and forth. Right now we're actually we're transmitting with about 20 watts. Yeah, we got about 20 watts going through, and I went both polarities, and you just about fell out. But horizontal-wise, you're about 9, S9, and audio's good. But I'm going to go ahead and switch over, both polarities. I'm going to go both vertical, horizontal.
Okay, and then yeah.
Okay, there we go. We're running both vertical, horizontal, and I'm only 20 feet above ground there, Roger.
Yeah, interesting. Also, yeah, just 20 feet. I find that's kind of a magic point, or the top of the loop. If you can get it about 25, I think you'll see a big jump. Also, I've been able to do that with a full wave loop in testing with a station out about 6 miles, and there was a jump at about the top of the loop at about 25, 26 feet, I think, Ralph. And but yeah, this is the best I have you, I think, right now. So I do have some vertical in it, obviously. I suppose the feed point, I could come off at a 90 degree maybe, and maybe produce more on the vertical, but probably, yeah, maybe it's not as vertical because of the way I'm feeding it. QSO.
Yeah, and also you're only 20 feet. Is that what you said you are?
It could be a little higher now because I did cinch it up a little bit. I might be up to even 24 feet now on the flat side, and then the vertical is about let's see, 6 feet under that. So the vertical is a little bit lower. I have tried a top-loaded design. I fed it from the vertical. Probably that's how I'd give you more vertical, I suspect. Yeah, if I fed it, if I, dropped it down that way. But then I think I need 2 guy wires.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're doing incredibly well. Very, very, very strong. A nice, crisp audio. Yeah, it just, the conditions is just very nice. And then especially when you can do that, doing the short skip, like you were doing 80 miles, that's fantastic. And we do the same, like I said, running about 100 whiskeys. If I do drop it down, then it just sort of dissipates. That's where the 5 wire on the back door comes in really, really handy. And by putting the 5 wire on the back door, I actually picked up about 10 dB gain on the antenna, running all stainless steel. We're all running, actually it's 17 gauge stainless steel. So very, very fine-tuned, very, they're small, and I had to make sure that when I went ahead and drilled the antenna, I went 18 inches from center to center to each wire.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I read you on that one. I went over to vertical.
Okay, yeah, I still got you. Yeah, when I went ahead and put on the back reflector, let me go ahead and turn up my exciter power a little bit. Okay, when I went back from the back reflector, what I did was on the first wire, I went 18 inches down to the second wire, and then so forth. To the third wire, it was 18 inches, and the fourth wire. So when you go ahead and put your back door on them, and they used to have a kit for these back in and I believe they still have them, but they're a little bit they're not stainless steel. They're more of a galvanized steel, I believe. But anyway, you could actually buy the spider web that went in the back door. They had different configurations for them for that purpose of gaining. They also had them for the Moonraker 4s and the 6s. So, and it actually picks up the gaining of it. Instead of having the 11 dB gain, You actually pick up 10 dBs just by adding the other 4 wires.
Okay, now those 4 wires, oh wow, I'm putting out some RF now. I can hear it into something. Wow. Yeah, it's probably warming up a little bit out there. What was I going to say? Oh, the 8, so you're talking about adding, I guess the 18 inches is going down, okay, from the top of the triangle towards the, or down alongside the fiberglass is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Down on your rear reflector, on your, the elements that are actually configuring into a diamond. So you actually have 5 diamonds on the rear reflector. And you get your measurements from your first reflector wire, which is, your very first wire up on top that's actually going straight with your driver. You actually get you drill inside of your, because, the first on your rear reflectors is when you go to put your second wire, your third wire, your fourth wire, and your fifth wire, your dimensions are 18 inches from center. So when you have your rear reflector, you have all 5 wires on the back door.
Oh, and then you, okay, and then you connect those into loops as well?
Yeah, you interconnect them, but they have what they use. They use it as to bounce off, just like a tennis racket. And what the front reflector does is it bounces off of those wires instead of just having the one. And it's pretty much, a quad is you can't beat a quad. They're probably the best antennas for running inside your home. That's why, you hear a lot of Yagis, and they do really well all the time. I mean, this antenna doesn't work all the time. I mean, there's times where I can't get out with the beams, but with the way the conditions are and the polarities of the poles, it just amplifies the signal. There's times where, I've talked into Europe, running 100 watts, and I'm hitting 20 dBs, 9. Just depending on the conditions. And then there's times where, I got Yagis just out talking me, but, they're running a lot more power than what I am. But most of the time I just run 100 watts. I don't put anything else, bigger than that. I really don't need it with the way the conditions have been.
Yeah, and that outside loop is it's the same on both, and I think it's, what is it, 106 inches or something?
Roger. Hold on, let me get the diagram. Hold on.
Yeah, I think it's 106. Gosh, I don't know. I'm feeding back somewhere. Hello, check. Man, I don't know when I'm coming over, but we're shooting out some RF today. Yeah, what's interesting, I took that 18-inch dimension you gave me times 5, I think you said 5 of them. Comes out to 7.5 feet, and most of my bazooka design also always comes out 8.5 feet, so that extra foot, I'm trying to think where that, I'm sorry, the extra 6 inches is going.
Yeah, hold on, Scott, hold on.
Roger that. And that could be the part of the diameter of that loop that they use at the feed point, the folded dipole, they call it. I suspect one of those loops half the size of that is probably, maybe they're about 12 inches across.
L2 on the rear reflector is 129 inches, which comes out to 38 2 inches on the first wire on the rear reflector. Okay, I'm going to give you the second one, okay? And that's using a 17 gauge wire. Also with the front. The front driver is a 17-inch stainless steel wire. Now I'm going to give you for the second rear reflector wire would be 32 inches, or actually 32 feet, 2 inches. Copy?
Okay, yeah, I got you, I think. No, you said 17 gauge. You didn't mean 17 gauge, right?
No, 17 gauge stainless steel wire.
Is that flattened out stuff?
Yeah, they actually use it for hanging cable, telephone cable. That's lashing wire. That's what I'm using.
Yeah, how do you spell it? It sounds like you said laughing wire.
Lash, L-A-S-H, lashing wire.
Yeah, I found some that the power company or whatever cut down, left hanging on the poles around here. They were doing some upgrades. It's got 2 leads, and man, it's the strongest stuff I ever seen. Maybe it's something like that?
No, that's strand. That's galvanized. It's actually steel strand. Now this stuff, they use it on phones, on telephone cable, for hanging it from pole to pole. It takes a lasher, which actually it's a spool, and what it does, it wraps the wire around the cable itself, and they have the center wire that holds it, and that's called strand, and you strand it across from pole to pole. So what that lashing wire does, it just wraps it around that cable, and it's all stainless steel, so it never rusts.
Well, I'm not sure which utility this was from, but this is a solid core that I have. I do see that loop thing going on to my home from the power company as part of the power lead. So yeah, I've seen that. I'm not sure if the telephone does that as well. Ours may be a little different. They may be using like a straight type there of lashing, where it has 2 sections within the PVC.
Okay, yeah, the center conductor with the coax. But that's pretty much what I use. I did a lot of aerials back in the day for Pacific Bell, and just working, being a lineman up on top, and I had a couple of reels. They're like 1,500 feet. What they do is, each pole is 600 feet, no more. So when they go to put up telephone poles, the communication lines, roughly 600 feet, no more. Same thing with the manholes. They won't go more than 600 feet. Anyway, I was just giving you a little bit of the dimensions. For the first wire, it's 38 feet, 2 inches. The second is 32 feet, 2 inches. The third wire is 26 feet, 2 inches. The fourth wire is 20 feet, 1/2 inch. And the fifth wire is 14 feet, 2 inches. So it's a triangular set there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. Do you have a pen and paper? I'm going to give you some dimensions.
Okay, Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, 68 to 23. And then 4.20, okay? And hold on to that. QRM. Hold on.